They only had 15 eliminations over the past 7 games played. That shows exactly how desperate some of these squads are out there today. And if you're in Group B, you didn't do enough, you can't do much now. All you can do is cry. But of course, someone has to cry at the end of the day.
I mean, it's a tournament. There is going to be someone that's going to be crying. There's going to be many someone's going to be crying. Let's be real here. Only 12 teams making it to top. And we do see 2 teams that are sweating bullets, as mentioned by our panel just now. But perhaps there might be a chance for them to continue, and let's see how it goes.
Flight path cutting straight down the middle of the map. Garrison all the way down to Stadium, which means the whole map is wide open. But I do expect to see a couple of hot drops, and the very first one in the house is actually going to be AGG. Taking on Al-Qadsiya. This does not look good for AGG, as they've already lost 1 player. Bardo goes down as well. Justin, a sliver of health left on him. Everybody's going to be looking at Sabas to hold the fort, but with the MP40, he's just got this SMG. Takes 1 knock, survives for the time being. King has not done his part just yet, and Sabas survives for the time being for the squad. 100 coins in his pocket. That pocket market still cannot buy his brother back.
Sabas is doing such a great job, been stealing a lot of attention. But over on this side, it's Al-Qadsiya, a team currently at the bottom of the rankings. We have seen a slow start for them, and we want to see more teams. You can see so many people in the arena just waiting, cheering for them. The question is whether or not they can reach up to the top today.
Al-Qadsiya has definitely been struggling thus far. 20 points picked up on day 2. They played yesterday, not the best of performance. They were the weakest team in performance for Group C. And unfortunately today, the struggle is real, right? Thus far, only picking up a total of 7 elimination points, which has given them all they have to talk about on the overall leaderboard for day 3. If they want to make it through, they've got to really hustle. But I don't know if I'm a believer in miracles. But Al-Qadsiya, they have not given up just yet. Ino's down and out already. They're still focusing to take all 4 points away from AGG.
They go aggressive. Remind knocked already. Not a good situation to be in. Justin finds Remind, sends him out. It's all about them trying to survive, making it to the end. Al-Qadsiya looks like they're trying to change their mind, playing a little bit more passive, giving a little bit more space to themselves to react if any of the teammates of AGG decides to go aggressive.
Off screen, we do have Onyx Olympus taking on Twisted Minds as well, but we will catch up with that action in a little bit. AGG still trying to put a good end to Al-Qadsiya, but the boys are hanging on strong. That revival is desperately needed for the Arabian squad right here, right now. They managed to pick up a few extra coins already, and Remind gets brought right back in.
Gaming Gladiators also just hanging around outside. 18th year, not only a 1v3 for a clutch just 2 days ago, or was it a day ago? I'm not sure, because the games seem to be really melding into each other, and he did it again before.
Oh my!
What is going on there?
Yeah, Sabas, AK-47 straight to the head. The guy is down, man down, but no one can help him up just yet. And Justin says, tomorrow, brother, we'll revive you instead. King goes for the finisher. Justin with the XM8. He's got the Trogon in hand. Not many grenades to play with. He's going to be the distraction as the rest of his team has just bust away from here. They're not going to come back to save him. Justin's going to be the sacrificial lamb unless he can pull up an 18D here in a 1v4. King does come on out, peeping out with that AK-47. Justin with the Trogon. Double pump, and he does put the guy on the ground. Even though the Bison was in the hands of King, he just could not get that final shot in. Look at that, a sliver of health on Justin. That's the fight that the squad still has in them.
And it's terrifying for Al-Qadsiya. We saw a bit, actually a lot of a change in mindset for them as they played yesterday. And they haven't, and they're number 1, but they haven't found their, I would say, rhythm or momentum quite yet. But this time around, they're trying to go a little bit more aggressive, and there's this indecisiveness when it comes to these first contact plays.
Out of the pan, straight into the fire. Onyx Olympus, one of the teams that are really heated out there on the battlefield, looking for those points. They want to qualify. They want to be in top 12. Unfortunately, they are unfortunate in terms of picking up the points for themselves. Still struggling in the overall grand scheme of things in the 17th spot. So it is a good opportunity for them to really ramp up. But only 3 more opportunities to go, Tash. And once again, I don't know if I'm a huge believer in miracles, but if 19 Esports could do what they have done, 2 games back-to-back, we saw them pick up some solid elimination points. If these teams can do the exact same, as well as swoop on into the final circle for the Booyah, that miracle might just be possible. Bayardo once again could not sustain his efforts, gets knocked down onto the ground, and this is an extended fight between AGG and Al-Qadsiya. Once again, it feels like deja vu all over. Same exact spots, right? That replay shows you exactly how the team went down.
It's always so interesting when you have these long, prolonged fights. Twisted Minds this time, a team that has some form of success today, but still a little bit more quiet. I think every single team is playing it a little bit more passive this time. They don't want to go too aggressive. They don't want to get completely eliminated in one go. We had a conversation in the pre-show about how every team is allowing one person to survive so that these desperate teams are able to farm off of each other, and that's exactly what we saw from 19 before. And as you mentioned before, how if they can replicate what they did in the previous games, they will be able to go forward. But for Onyx, a team that's also trying to find the momentum, they're trying to find a way to get into this, finding the last person alive. Justin, 7. He's done miracles. He's managed to get 2 earlier, which has really hurt so many of these teammates. I think they smell him around.
I mean, they used the R1. They scanned him out already. It's just a matter of spotting the guy who's hiding away from all of them. It's a game of hide and seek. The Seekers are 4 players from the side of Onyx Olympus, but Justin, he's a champion in hide and seek. He's on the prone. He's not breathing. You cannot hear him in this compound at all. And that just pretty much flies over the heads of Onyx Olympus, but they haven't given up just yet. Once again, another R1 scan, but this time they scan out 5 players because here comes Gaming Gladiators for a little bit of games to play with Onyx Olympus.
And they have been hanging around the area for quite some time, waiting for the right opportune moment to just really poke their noses into these fights. Unfortunately, took a little bit too long, not able to third-party this, so they're trying to find a different situation to approach them. Because as we know, these teams for Onyx, when you are against a team that has nothing to lose, it's a different shift in mindsets. It's a little different aggression, and it's terrifying.
Gun Gladiators, a team that is just 1 step away from reaching point rush. They are just a few points, very specifically 8 points behind Hotshot Esports, who are sweating right now, not because of the heat here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's because they are in the 12th spot and there is nothing they can do about the other squads overtaking them. And unfortunately, that's what is going to happen, as we truly know what Gaming Gladiators are capable of. Twisted Minds finding one. Diamond with the shots, and the SMG does not get the job done. Mag 7, and they drop each other at the same time. Exposy down on the ground as well. Fluxo butts in, can't do much in a situation like this. Twisted Minds toasting everyone. Saming not focusing on the fight, goes for the pickup and gets toasted, kicked out in 11th. Fluxo survives, all thanks to MT7.
This is so heartbreaking for Al-Qadsiya. A team that's trying their best to find as many points they can. Out already with only 2 maps to go. Zone is shrinking, but aggression doesn't stop. Onyx is here. Finds himself toe-to-toe against Fluxo. Throwables thrown out, takes up some space. Trying to be really careful about how they approach this fight. They know how many people is here, but so separated from one another. Oh, so many glue walls set up here. Kiba takes a lot of damage. And now Kiba finds the other members of Fluxo, but not able to have space to go forward.
Yeah, Fluxo just says, hasta la vista, baby. They use the portal go. They move on in closer towards the circle, but they came across Team Solid, and they had to expend yet another portal go to get away from Team Solid. AGG, on the other hand, once again, Sabas down on the ground. Guy just cannot find a break in this match. Fluxo, on the other hand, already in this next circle. What they can do now is gatekeep the 2 teams that just tried to prey on them, but Bobs gets shot down by Waka from afar. What a headshot!
And it was a headshot. Team Solid, a team that's been destroying teams since they had more coming in. And now they're looking to just corner the other members of Fluxo down, and he does that! Down to the ground they go. But over on the other side of the map, you can see kill feeds. So many bodies hitting the floor. And Fluxo move into the compound once again. Still haven't found Justin, and he has not been seen. Does not move a single muscle quite yet. He might be able to get some pickoffs here if he's really careful.
Fluxo with this game alone should be able to sneak into the top 12. They only need 11 points. Gaming Gladiators, on the other hand, preying on their brothers from Indonesia. 18 Dia, the Miracle Child, the 1v3, no problem! But unfortunately this time, up against the M1014, he goes down, and the reigning Tigers this time, EWC Divine, up at the top with the most number of eliminations.
This is a really interesting one. I think they finally did spot out Justin. Wait, no they didn't. I thought they did.
Flux. Justin's going to survive for a little bit longer. They can't be teasing him at this point.
Oh, no.
Says, peekaboo, baby, we found you. And I mean, truth be told, they did Justin a favor. The guy was almost crying because he couldn't do much. He couldn't even breathe. You know, he was almost about to suffocate himself.
Can't move.
Yeah, Gio just said, okay, just go get revived somewhere else, bro.
Just
We'll see you in a bit,
We'll
okay?
see you next match.
Yeah, just gather up with your squad once again, all right? We'll check in with you a little bit later. They've played around a little bit, but you know, you just got to be disappointed with the scouting capability of the players out of Onyx Olympus.
Yeah,
they just passed by.
Yeah.
They had that R1 scan, not one, but two.
Twice, yeah. I think they got thrown off because Gaming Gladiators were there as well.
They were like, wait, from 1 players, we went to 5 players. What in the world is going on? Okay, this is the math calculation that's not mathing, and we are out of here.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm actually surprised that Gaming Gladiators actually, or Onyx Olympus, did not take the fight there.
Yeah.
Given the fact that they were hanging around each other for so long. Both teams decided to move quietly away.
I mean, if you're Onyx Olympus, you do not want to risk these early fights. They know they are nowhere close to the top 12 spot. In fact, Onyx Olympus needs 34 solid points in order to sneak into the top 12. And if they want to guarantee that for themselves in this game in itself, it's obviously going to be impossible. But over 3 games, that is surely doable, right? All they need to make sure is they are in that final circle. They're getting the top 5 spots. They need those placement points. And of course, a few of those stray shots out there in the open, picking up a few elimination points, could perhaps guarantee them a spot in the top 12.
That's right. But Circle, once again, we find ourselves near an urban setting. Look at how many teams are near railroad here. Everyone in their own little real estate area, but it's almost like a Mexican standoff. No one starting any fights quite yet. They want to make sure that if they're going to take these fights, they don't get third party, they don't get picked off one by one, and most importantly, do not get isolated. We saw what 18 can do.
You cannot say it's a Mexican standoff. We have Mexican teams in here. There are no Mexican teams there in that standoff. I call fall on that one.
Fair enough.
19 Esports. They've been quiet, but they are about to meet a opponent that will not stay silent the moment they are spotted. And unfortunately, On Fire has seen one, takes that shot, AWM in hand. Those guys are lucky it was not a headshot. Jota now backing away. The blue circle, the blue zone is going to put on the hurt, giving Falcons a little bit of extra advantage. But the portal goal puts them right beside Falcons. 19 Esports, they won this fight.
Oh, then they move out of the way. 19 Esports, I think when we look at Jota just now, he was like the biggest hero for the team, making big things happen. And now, in this situation where you are, in a situation where it's so hard to move, the zone just rushing toward you, not a lot of space to go, and against a team like Falcons, who have shown so much domination today, what are you supposed to do?
Good scan by Falcons. Now they know the boys are just right down below, but they cannot jump down. This is not Kalahari. You do not have those grappling hooks, but 19 Esports gives Falcon the advantage. They use yet another portal goal, and they move on into a tiny little compound. Now it's going to be like shooting fish in a barrel. A couple of grenades out of Falcons could put an end to them, but then again, Falcons cannot overstay their time on that bridge. We have seen that go sour for so many squads in the past. They have to move because, yes, you may have the bird's eye view from the top, but you're also the one most visible to all of the other teams down at the bottom.
Clearly, Ray on a killing spree, aggressive, and AGG out of the game already, 8th place. Zone shrinking once again. We find Falcons toe-to-toe. This time around, they meet on the ground floor, or rather on the ground itself. 19, they try to make the work. They're aggressive. They break down all of those blue walls.
Yeah, but not enough. 19 Esports has managed to replay the terrain to their advantage. They know exactly what they're expanding all of those portal goals for. They're not wasting the glue walls just yet. This team desperately wants to get into the top 12, and they're devising the perfect plan to get there, right? Stay alive long enough to get into circle number 5, and then we can dance around some of these teams. And they have now managed to maneuver away from all of the hot action, unlike Eve or Savine, who might just get into a little bit of a tussle with Team Solid shortly.
EG already up on the top spot. I think they're very, very happy with their positioning. And here we go. A terrible space to be in for Team Falcons here. Playing at the very, very edge of the zone. These two teams need to fight to get into the zone itself. On the top side here, Falcons, as you mentioned before, high ground advantage. They can see bird's eye view of everything. But...
Bird's eye view, Falcons. Get it?
I got it. That's why I said it, but I didn't want to make it too obvious. But
here's the thing, right? Once again, the Falcons are at the top, 19 Esports right down below. Falcons cannot jump down unless they've got a capability to disrupt the defensive power of 19 Esports. That 8124 could be popped, but it's all about whether or not 19 Esports is running those Josephs on them. I haven't been able to take a peek just yet. So Falcons, they're going to say, you know what, we're going to chill for a moment. They've got another portal go, which is going to be perfect to maneuver into this next circle.
But look at how much pressure
Oi,
Esports is putting
oi,
onto
oi.
them. High ground onto them. They're out in the open. Can't do
Uh-oh,
anything. Blue wall broken. Out of the way, and they cannot reposition at all. They go down to the bottom side, and look, is in front of them. It's 19!
Oh, this is payback time, baby, but Poto goal allows them to get away in the nick of time. 19 Esports now has to run away from the blue zone. Out in the open, they've got a couple of trains out here in the railroads to block some of those shots, and all of the action has been absorbed by AG versus Team Falcons. Onyx Olympus, though, they do manage to spot them out, but 19 Esports knows this terrain all too well, using the natural defenses out there to maneuver around, to avoid those shots, to avoid those engagements, to get into that final circle. This is survival at its best.
Really is. EVOS with the high ground, so much space to work with, so much information they can get. Trap gets one, and so does Aim God. It's just knocks, no confirmed kills quite yet. For Fluxo, it's about repositioning themselves inside of the compound. Finally, Gary, finally knocked out Ju, as well as Kiba. All these bodies hitting the floor one by one.
Oh, the body's hitting the floor. The points being picked up. Onyx Olympus is out of the race. And now a Riptide Rhythm to take G'day out of the equation as well. He wants to say good day, mate, to everybody else, but they say to him out there in the open, still struggling to survive. Aim God can't do much to back him up. He's a tad bit distracted with Stop. AG trying to put an end to EVOS Divide.
It's just so terrifying for 19. They have a tiny little area to work with, but it's not enough for any other team to really take them down. It's a very sharp look from the top side. They can't reposition, go inside of the area itself. But look at how many teams are at the bottom side. This is scary because it's an all-out buffet of kills down at the bottom here.
They have avoided all of the engagements thus far, but this is the time to really get wild, to get down and dirty with all of those gunfights. But 19 Esports has found themselves yet another nook to hide away at the blue zone at their side. Nobody can take that backside up against 19 Esports. Once again, a brilliant placement, brilliant positioning. This is a team that really knows the map. They're letting everybody else do the dirty work, fight each other, and they want the booyah for themselves. They want those points. EVOS Divine up top. Aim God, Ray, bird's eye view. They can't manage to get those knocks just yet, but he does have a all-up grocer. Ray in his hands also has the Riptide Rhythm thanks to the Skylar, but he's just choosing to use it at the final moment. 19 Esports, on the other hand, being mowed down. Here comes Fluxo finally engaging with the players.
In this situation, Fluxo finally coming down. 19 goes down. They tried so hard to survive, not being able to quite yet. Bobs will be the one with the most eliminations here. They're waiting for the right time. EVOS on the top side just now. They put a lot of pressure, they put a lot of damage in, but they can't move away from that situation or the area. If they were to drop down, they're gonna get completely obliterated by anyone at the bottom side of the area.
I said Fluxo needed 11 points to break through the top 12, and they've already got their 11 just purely through the eliminations. Those placement points have not been taken into account just yet, so Fluxo can definitely smile, but they can smile a little bit wider because all of the engagements they've managed to avoid up until players from the side of Falcons drop by to say hello, dropping them one after the other. Ray now right outside. Aim God, EVOS Divine still alive. Hot Fire, the final player in a 1v1, but barricades himself with all of those blue walls. Pulls up 180. Aim God with the knock. And then 14 for the win, and is still alive. Hot Fire not down just yet. The blue zone trying to do the dirty on both the teams, and it might just go down to a medkit gameplay. Aim God says no. I've got the shotgun, and he takes it straight to the opponent.
Bobs is down, Fluxo, one person at the very bottom. Everyone one person each, but who wins this is the question. EVOS with 2, 1 knocked already. Fluxo, who survives to the very end. Everyone's just healing here.
Who's got? Okay, Ray, he didn't have the horizon line. He did not have what it takes to survive, and Fluxo from not performing to getting that booyah for themselves. A brilliant play, and most definitely a guarantee into the top 12. 4-point rush tomorrow.
Are you surprised that that was the ending?
I'm surprised.
it was chaotic from so many different areas, so many different terrains, and fights were happening. But in the end of the day, because they can't reach each other, it's just all about the healing. It's just a very quiet ending. Very peaceful, no?
It's always an exciting day to cast when teams finally know they cannot muck around on the battlefield. They need to pick up those points. They need to get to the final circle. And when you've got so many of world-class squads getting into the final circle in a game of Free Fire, there is nothing short of chaos that you can expect.
And that's what we love to see.
Oh, yeah.
And I think throughout the entirety of these 3 days, so many iterations, so many different styles of play. A quiet day on day number 1, and then suddenly today, these desperate moves come through. A very all these aggressive style plays come out as well. And I'm really wondering, how on earth